Well, hello everybody. You're sitting on Olive. Hopefully you can see Spurt here. I've just been out on Spurt to top the petroleum tank off and go to the chemist for my mum. And you remember the last time we were nobbing around with Spurt, I did clean all the inside of the belly pan and what have you, and it appears I do have a leak. I did seal some of the case bolts and stuff like that. I've got a very slight weep from the clutch actuation arm, which is pretty common, it's just an O-ring. But to be honest, I'm not going to really address that unless it gets worse. I'm not going to address that until I need to replace the clutch, because then I've got to get the cover off anyway, got to get the gasket. So yes, I'm thinking, I don't know whether you'll see it, quite low light in there. I'm thinking it could actually be coolant. If I stick my snozzle in there and take a good long, it does smell slightly of hot coolant, which in itself is nothing to worry about, but it can be a sign of a slight leak. So I think my leak, rather than being oil, may be coolant. So what I'm going to do, drop the belly pan, get the old torch out, and well, we'll see. So I'm going to put you back on Olive and then get cracking.
12 seconds later.
Definite wetness. Let me just put my little pinky in there. Could be anything. Sniff test. I think that's coolant.
A few moments later.
Where did I put my bloody stick of illumination? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm about as organised as a Jewish seafood buffet at the minute. Oh, there it is. Yes. Ooh, hello. Right. Oh, still taste that bloody coolant. We may have an early culprit. Let's get some lumens on this. Can you see? There is a bit of leakage around that hose clamp. I'm wondering if that's all it is. Or I say all it is, what I may have to do is drop the coolant, clean the pipe that hose goes onto, and then do it. But I'm going to get a screwdriver on that just to see if it's tight. It just might be loose enough that it's causing a bit of seepage. Ah, yeah, you can see the paint mark. Look, I think the hose has moved. Well, hopefully that's all it is. I might actually run the bike up and see if it actively leaks. Well, I know it leaks, but just see if it does it. I think that might be our next port of call, ladies and genitals. As an aside to this, folks, you can actually see the witness marks of the leak running down the hose, where it would then drip onto the pan of bellyage. At first I did suspect the oil cooler, but the oil cooler is actually, fingers crossed at the minute, oil tight. I think I'm going to have to get a gasket for this cover as well, because there are, I mean, that could be coolant. I think what I might do is give it a good blasting and just see what cleans up and what returns. But I think for now a tightening of that hose may do it. fingers are crossed rather a lot. In fact, I'm going to cross my legs, cross my toes, and if it was long enough I'd put a knot in my willy. Well folks, somebody's definitely been in here before. Look at the large proliferation of my friend silicon sealer. Yes. Yes. I think what's possibly happened is the hose clamp is actually cut in the hose. I think there might be a hole in that hose. Because if I give the hose a little squeeze, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, but just note the top of the clip if you can. When I was doing that, it was actually causing a little weep at the top there. So what I'm going to do is completely undo this clamp of clampage, just slide it out of the way and just see if I can see any damage to the hose. There isn't really enough like free play, if you like, in the hose to cut any damage off. So what I might have to end up doing, if it's the hose, is I'll see what the price of the Kawasaki one is, but I can pretty much guarantee something like a Samco would be cheaper, and I can get a red one because I'm a bling twat. Got the hose clamp out of the way and I squeezed the hose, and the good thing is so far I can't see any cuts where the hose clamp was, but I don't think it was clamped tight enough. Observificate the top of the hose. Hopefully the camera picks it up because it's in shadow. I think that's pretty conclusive, folks. Jim, find your fucking words. Yes, you need to tighten that clamp up a bit more. I think it was a little bit low on the stub, so I'm going to put the clamp right at the top. Hopefully that does it. If it doesn't cure it, like I say, I might end up just draining the system, taking the rad off, and then getting the Dremel round all the hose ends. That's what I ended up doing with the water pump on Spurt, because the water pump leaked and it was corrosion on the pipe unions. You know, where the rubber pipe goes on, it was corroded enough not to form a good seal. So we may have to do the same at the top. Nice. I love it when a plan comes together. And I like coming together. Oh, it's been 12 years. Jeans were freshly washed this morning. Good, they're starting to look like motorbikerists' jeans again. Anyway, I've got that clamp on. I've gone as tight as a dare with it before it slips. And I've given it the old squeeze test, and notes coming out, which is good. I have just given it a spray of carb cleaner as well, so just to clean it up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's cured. But what I might do is just obviously I've got to re-clean the fairing, otherwise I'm not going to know if it's still leaking because of this shite. So what I might do is just leave the bottom of the fairing off, it doesn't hurt, just for a bit, run it up, and then see where I am with it. But yeah, hopefully if that's the cure, nice easy job.